So the recipe I'll be sharing with you today is butternut squash gnocchi, and you'll need butternut squash, some white potatoes, some plain flour, salt, pepper and olive oil, and some ground flax seeds which I will make into a flaxseed egg. So what you want to do is start by peeling the potatoes. I did this whilst Adam was sanding and I was listening to Harry Potter.
Dumbledore had convinced Harry not to go with their own ways. And for the rest of the Christmas holidays, the invisibility cloak stayed full at the bottom of the list.
And I was peeling the butternut squash as well. So what you want to do is put the kettle on, boil some water, and chop up the potatoes and butternut squash into sort of quarters, small chunks. The smaller you cut them, the quicker they will cook. And what I'm going to do is add those to a big pan. And now I'm just chopping up the butternut squash, trying to create similar chunk sizes as the potatoes so that they cook evenly. I think it might just be me, but I think the inside of butternut squashes are pretty. So I'm going to scoop out these seeds, and if you want to, you could roast them and put them on top. I think we did that for leftovers the next day. So I'm turning on the hob now and just adding a couple of teaspoons of salt to the pan. And now I'm adding my boiling water, and you want to cook these on a medium heat for about 15 minutes or until they're soft with a fork. When they're soft, so now I'm going to scoop them out into a bowl and blend them. I used an electric blender for this, but you could easily blend them with a food processor, or you could mash them with a masher. I'm just adding some pepper. Our pepper grinder is rubbish, so adding some salt, and then I'm adding the flaxseed egg. And then I'm adding just a dash of olive oil. And now is when you want to start adding the flour. So all of the ingredients will be put in the description. What I would recommend is halving this recipe, so I'll put the full recipe, but I'll also put the half recipe measurements because I had to add a lot of flour to bring this together. And what you want to do is just keep adding the flour bit by bit and stirring it in. And then I'm just flouring the surface and putting the dough onto the surface. As you can see, it was still a bit sticky at this stage. Probably should have added some more flour when it was still in the mixing bowl, but you live and learn. I'm just bringing that together into a sort of dough shape, and I'm pinching bits off and rolling them into gnocchi shaped sized balls. The proper way to do this would be to roll it into a long sausage and chop it up from there, which is what Adam reminded me of afterwards. But this is the way that I did it. And there you can see they're all there, and I'm just giving them a little pattern with a fork and popping them into boiling water. I found it easier to use a spoon to do this. And you just want to boil them until they start to float to the top. As you can see, those ones are floated to the top, and I just added them to some sauce that I'd made. So I just made this simple sauce by frying up some pepper and garlic in some olive oil, adding some tomato puree and olives and thyme, salt and pepper as well, and just garnished with some fresh basil, and it was absolutely delicious. All the information and the recipe can be found below. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching.